It's gonna be the last series, decider series, to see who's gonna get into the next phase of the tournament. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner for his lifeline is the Blueser player playing for Alpha X. It is RAGNAROK.
And spawning here at the top left corner of the map, he's the red Terran player playing for Team NV. Give it up for Bunny. Alright, this time around a TVZ here on this map. Now, of course, I feel like Bunny is kind of I would say his best matchup is probably against Zerg players.
Yeah, same. Absolutely. That's where he shines. But I was talking before, like, Ragnarok is quite possibly his worst opponent. He doesn't really fare well against Spire players somewhat. And Ragnarok is quite well known for being able to play very aggressively in a very efficient way. So I'm very curious to see how this series will go.
Yeah. One person in the chat saying, "Did Bunny beat Parting?" No, actually. Well, I guess.
Oh yeah, Bunny did.
Oh yeah,
Bunny
yeah. Oh
did.
yeah, yeah. Actually, yeah, he did. I'm sorry. Parting actually, after the first series against Bunny, he did tap out and did leave. So Ragnarok was able, or not? Wait, what was it? Yeah, Ragnarok was. Yeah, Ragnarok was able to get a auto win, or I guess a walkover win against Parting, and now we're here in the deciders match.
It was a 2-0 victory on Bunny's side versus Parting. But new series, new business, and it's gonna be a 6-linked opener on Ragnarok side. Just to be slightly more careful around that one nasty Reaper. I guess he's learning from his mistakes. Romanticide, quite the big map. His links are surely gonna be needed later on. My god, one of them almost falls. Was very close. Another queen is out, and the Reaper needs to scatter.
All right, throwing that first creep somewhere here. Going to be really important to connect the natural into the third base. There's going to be a long pathway to that third base, so definitely want to get that extra speed for those queens to kind of wall their way between bases.
Yeah, one of the most important things on this map is, of course, creep spread. And Bunny is I feel like one of the reasons he shines the most in this matchup is because he's so focused on keeping creep at bay. It's one of the most important things Terran players have to do in this matchup, and it can really lead to the Zerg player being just overall not very careful against any kind of harassment, which are the bread and butter of the Terran TVZ department.
Yeah, and also this map is actually pretty wide, so it's a bit more difficult to get those creep spread through the kind of left and right side. So you want to get started on that rather early. But in the meantime, Ragnarok does finish researching Overlord speed. We'll get a nice, decent scout over Bunny's base. We'll see a quite fairly early third CC as well as a 1-1-1 opening.
We see also a Helen drop coming on from Bunny's side, ready to get some damage done. I feel like this can be a very nasty play, and they can lead to some awful scenarios for the Zerg. Let's see how Bunny will perform. Oh, that's a blind spot here in the natural, and a blind spot will punish Ragnarok very much. Already 3 drones going down, and it wasn't a very expensive thing being done here by Bunny. Doesn't lose a single one of his aliens, and gets 3 drones and 6 Zerglings without losing anything.
Yeah, nice little catch there by Bunny. Gonna go ahead and dive in here once again, but oh no, a little bit undecisive there. Kind of wasn't sure to commit or whether to retreat back. Does lose some health life on that medevac, but decides to retreat for the time being. And might want to get that medevac repaired. Alright, I like this. RAGNAROK starting to chew away at those rocks, making sure that if he takes that 4th base down there, which is looking very likely, that he will have the kind of the open surface area to get any surrounds on the Terran army if there is an engagement there. But it looks like on the other side, Bunny's just going to go ahead and just focus on the micro, or not the micro, the macro. Just establishing his 3rd base, getting those SCV over there, starting to saturate the mineral lines.
It almost always leads to how Bunny will perform once he comes to that kind of mass drop style he likes to play so much. It is a good way to play a matchup indeed, but RAGNAROK can snowball easily if left uncontested. That's another one of those reasons why I feel like RAGNAROK is kind of a nemesis player of Bunny in some way. We see a Hydra Den being dropped kind of earlier on by RAGNAROK, and his upgrades almost being finished. His key upgrades I'm talking about, of course. Right now, it kind of feels like RAGNAROK is in a pretty much a good spot, but I would like him starting to make a little bit more banelines.
Yeah, especially since there is an incoming attack here, and it has gone undetected actually. Oh boy, this can actually catch RAGNAROK a little bit off guard. He is starting to morph into those banelings though, as Central Fugu Hooks is about to finish.
Oh, he just finishes as soon as these Marines start shooting at these archery. It looks like RAGNAROK is setting up a huge surround. Here comes the banelings. Oh my, they're coming only on one side. Not the best engagement RAGNAROK could take. Meanwhile, he's waiting for those other banelings on the top side to being done. Another round of banelings will go down to the Marines. Good focus fire on Bunny's side. It looks like this archery is getting very ready now. And here comes the rest of the army. Banelings come rolling in. And Bunny forced to load up and get the heck away from there.
Really nice surround there by RAGNAROK, kind of mitigating the tank splash damage. That's exactly what you want. And now RAGNAROK can just go ahead and start, producing all those drones, producing those Hydralisks, getting those upgrades as well. Although he might need to start, or at least still need to deal with this kind of Marine force here out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is a map control situation in which Bunny likes a lot to play in, just massing up Marines, getting medivacs out. And as you can see, starting to get to the point where you can produce much more Marines than you can lose, really. Creep spread has been amazing from RAGNAROK, though. I want to kind of focus on that. Like, half his map is already covered in creep.
Yeah,
Incredible, to be honest.
Yeah, he made those extra queens, making sure he has more than enough energy to start spreading those creep as efficient as possible.
Huge control of the map. Like right now, you almost as a creep tumor in one of the bases of Bunny, which is hilarious. And at least this early into the game is kind of hilarious. These matchup games can last averagely much longer than this, and one of the players the Zerg player already having this much vision on the map is kind of crazy good.
Yeah, it's gonna allow his Hydralisk as well to move and kind of maneuver around, especially with the kind of the lurker tech that's upcoming. That could actually be pretty good. But like you said, having that creep timber is pretty good, just because of the kind of the map vision, making sure that drops are not coming out of nowhere. Looks like there is actually kind of a Ling force, a Ling Baneling force coming to the left side here. Gonna go for a counterattack.
Oh, that is scary. That is very scary. Lings are gonna get into the mineral line. That's a bunch of reinforcements that are gonna get cut off. not a lot of losses will be taken by Bunny, but it's still kind of a scary move. Ragnarok trying to go for the whole position play in the middle line of Bunny. Will not be able to get much from that, but he stopped his opponent for quite a while, and getting those Vipers out just before this attack of Kings is gonna be pivotal to his defensive success.
All right, looks like
not a huge round of Zerglings are coming though.
That got shut down. Bunny able to rebuild his wall.
It looks like Bunny kind of lost that window of time in which he could have gotten something serious done. And now Ragnarok has a healthy army, good amount of tech, and he's gonna have a lot of energy on his Vipers very soon. Alright, Vipers coming in clutch. Here comes the steam forward. One of the Vipers is very ready in health. Is it gonna be enough? It doesn't really feel like it. Banelings come rolling through everything at once. It looks like Ragnarok still not gonna wipe the Marine army, but the tanks are no more his business. There's still a bunch of Marines. This base actually feels like it's gonna go down. Was a lot of links. But Ragnarok can easily replenish his forces with much more important units. And even losing 15 drones doesn't hurt as badly as it was looking like. Of course, losing these many Zerglings without a very good reason to do that, not the best. But nonetheless, Bunny is gonna be held back for a little while longer. Honestly, Ragnarok could have done this much more efficiently. But he's still a hold.
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, does lose one of the hatchery once again here onto the top right side. But you know what? He is starting to get those lurkers out. Let's see here. How much lurkers does he have? 7 lurkers.
I'm more concerned with the 2 of the 3 Vipers dying, actually.
Ah.
That was kind of terrible. Not terrible by Ragnarok, like terrible, like, oh crap, it lost 2 Vipers. That's not good.
Yeah. I mean, that Lurker, Viper, Hydralisk, Baneling Force, kind of like the go-to Zerg army composition these days. This is a really strong combo.
But you have to have a lot of Vipers and a lot of energy on those Vipers, otherwise it won't work. Lurkers by themselves are very good defensively, but it cannot do much in other ways, especially against tanks. Vipers completely annihilate tanks, just as you have seen right now. Ragnarok is gonna have a lot of lurkers sieged up exactly where he needs them, and right now it definitely looks like Bunny is taking a fight he shouldn't have ever taken. These Hydras hit like a truck, and now the lurkers are in position to deal with everything else. Ragnarok just sending ahead his Hydras. Hydras are that strong with +3. And, well, what? They do not have upgrades? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but you know what? Who needs upgrades when you have lurkers? I mean, those are some beastly units there. Getting some nice splash damage and some nice firepower during that fight will allow Ragnarok to take a much more efficient trades. Let's see here in the units loss tab. Yeah, looks like Ragnarok losing a bit more, 6k more minerals, as well as a bit, I guess 1.5k gas there, but still doing okay.
Finally, we see Ghosts out for Bunny. Ghosts are going to be a very important piece of tech, ready to snipe down those lurkers when needed, but there's so many of them, like so many. Bunny will manage to sneak a drop in the right hand side of the map, getting that one hatchery. But Ragnarok is starting to play aggressively. Snipes going down on so many of the lurkers at once. Beautiful blinding cloud. And now the lurkers have established themselves just outside the boundaries of this planetary fortress. That's a dangerous spot to be in for Bunny. Another planetary over here is threatened by Banelings and Zerglings alike. He counts the reinforcements for Bunny. Are they gonna be enough? Vipers ready to drop down the Blinding Cloud, and so they do. Beautiful Blinding Cloud, beautiful abducts on top of the Ghosts. And Ragnarok He's gonna win another fight. Is he gonna win the game as well? He's getting very close to that. He's gonna get one of the phases out of Bunny, and he's gonna send more and more lurkers in. Even corruptors are being made right now to deal with the transition from Bunny. This is looking rough. Another planetary under threat by the lurkers, and Ragnarok is gonna take another base. And this is starting to look awful for Bunny. Even 14 more SCVs gone into the sink, and now the supply advantage is looking rough on the Terran.
Yeah, I mean, I love that kind of back out by Ragnarok. Make sure he didn't overextend and lose the rest of his lurkers. Now he's just gonna go ahead and, you know, kind of get some additional links, get some additional bane lanes, get those Vipers as well, and kind of go back once he has enough. But looks like Bunny is gonna go ahead and put on the first move here.
Looks like this is a very dangerous line to cross for Bunny. Corruptors come clutching in, and this is gonna be the end of the army of Bunny. Corruptors chasing down everything. Here comes the feedback on top of the Vipers. Not gonna be enough. GG gets gold, and the Zerg player will get the first game of this series.
Yeah, Bunny had a lot of medevacs left over. I think he had like enough medevacs to just heal, you know, each of his bow units. But what good is it if you don't even have any army to heal? I mean, Ragnarok just has so many bings on the ground that it forced Bunny to realize that, yep, there's just no way I can continue on. And GG gonna go ahead and take the win, and Ragnarok will get a 1-0 lead heading to game number 2.
It was a very patient game at Ragnarok side. Very careful maneuvering around what Bunny was doing. And great spread, guys. Great spread. Clearly the champ of that game. Being able to get so much movement speed, so much vision on every single thing happening at once. And of course, one of the most important thing for a Zerg player in this matchup is being able to calculate losses. Know what you are supposed to lose and what you are not supposed to lose. Ragnarok did that, forfeit one base, won the game. Very clever play, very clever game by Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, he just needed to buy enough time to get that lurker tech running, and at that point, there was just really not a lot that Bunny could do against the lurker tech. He had the tanks and the bow units, but lurkers do pretty well against bow. The tanks weren't able to get into range, and of course the liberators weren't out yet. So
yeah, and those Vipers were very, very useful. Like Vipers usage, A+ for Ragnarok.
Indeed.
All right, time for yet another introduction. Spawning here in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade is the blue Zerg player. He needs just one more, 2 chances at match point for getting the second place of the group. It is Ragnarok.
All right, and spawning here at the bottom right corner of the map, playing for Team NV. He's the red Terran player, looking to push it into a decisive game number 3. Can he do it? It is Bunny.
A very different map from Romantic side. It can lead to some more aggressive kind of games. In shorter maps, kind of tend to favor Terran players a little bit more. Curious to this map not being banned. Probably Ragnarok felt like Oxide and Submarine were higher priority, which they probably are. But it's still a very, very nasty map to play in this matchup.
Yeah, I think it does. It's going to definitely favor the player that's a bit more aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see if Ragnarok actually expands his dirt base towards the I guess the vertical positioning, towards maybe the 8-9 o'clock position, or if he decides to expand into the one next to his main base, like in below it. Because of course the bottom one does have a lot of wide open spaces, That's going to definitely favor Ragnarok, but that also means that it's a bit closer to the Terran base. So if Terran does push forward, it's going to be easier for him to reinforce.
As far as script goes, they're both very equally distant from the natural, so it's not gonna matter that much in that department. But yes, I do agree with you that it's a very tough choice, and one I'm very interested to see. It looks like Ragnarok is gonna take the triangular pattern with the base just underneath his main, and in this matchup against an opponent such as Bunny, I approve of this choice. I feel like it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, I feel like if you expand towards the vertical positioning, it's a bit harder because this is like area like down below where you can siege up the tanks. Yeah, it gets a bit harder for the Zerg to get the wraparound. So I like this choice here to expand in the triangular positioning.
Yeah, it's a similar thing that was being done in New Repugnancy, older map, 2019 early, maybe 2018 even. But yeah, on that map, it was one of the first map in which Zerg players started to take the triangular pattern instead of the vertical one. So it makes sense against tank pushes. Against everything else though, it can get exploited a lot. Bunny is gonna go ahead and start out a Liberator and faking a Banshee play.
Ah. Some little mind games here coming out of Bunny.
He's gonna let it be scouted, which is very clever as well. Like this link might look annoying, but it was just a big mind game. And now Ragnarok is gonna go ahead and start out a layer just slightly earlier than he was probably supposed to. So it looks like the mind game has had an effect on Ragnarok.
Yeah, 3 spore callers that could have, or 4 spore callers that could have been 4 drones there. So yeah, this is already paying off there. Oh, he does cancel one of the spore callers, but he does let the rest of the other 3 finish.
Oh, and he gets 5 drones with the Liberator. Oh, Liberator is also going to survive. Beautiful. Actually, it was 4 drones and then a link from the Hellions. Oh no, it's 5 drones. A drone from the Aliens as well. Sorry. Read it wrong.
Basically a good amount of drones.
Sorry?
Basically a good amount of drones.
Yeah, definitely. Another drone actually falls. And to be honest, like Ragnarok has been macroing like crazy this game. But Bunny consistently slowing him down is not playing as hold back as he did in the first game. He's kind of learning from his mistakes. He's kind of playing the map. Man, Ragnarok is playing very good. Like even losing 6 drones, alright, it's not that good. But those aliens cannot get anywhere close to his drone line. And that was great.
Alright, looks like Ragnarok is starting to spread the creep. Again, he did have nice creep spread in the last game, kind of replicating this one as well. Now, this is another map that's pretty difficult to spread creep, just because of the kind of the layout. But he is getting there.
Bunny kind of trying to slow down a little bit. He's gonna lose all of his aliens in the process, which is kind of terrible. Getting 3 creep teamers for the cost of 4 aliens, not the best. But yeah, he's gonna go ahead and set up a drop here on the right side. There are 4 queens over here. They're very exposed. 2 of them gonna fall instantly. 3 of them actually. And here a bunch of marines are sacrificed for it. But very efficient trade on Bunny's side. And now he's starting to shine in army supply. He's starting to get ahead. And you know what? When a third player is behind him workers with a Terran, is always no bueno for the Zerg.
Yeah, he is going to definitely have to rely on those Baneling connections. Oh, actually, he's losing a couple of drones here. Oh, it looks like a Liberator did get some damage here in the natural. But, oh my god.
His Liberator has been a nuisance all game long, and Bunny is sure very happy about it. Here comes the rest of the Zerglings trying to clutch on top of the Marines, but of course Bunny not gonna allow it, while the Liberator gets finally killed. Not before getting 6 more drones. Another drop coming on the bottom side. It's gonna be scouted by RAGNAROK, who's gonna go ahead and go for a counter-attack of his own. But not gonna get much done with just Zerglings. Bunny trying to blindside his opponent. Gonna go back in the top right. Gonna get one more queen, but man, that was pricey.
Oh man, looks like Bunny is just keeping up with the pressure here. Dropping to the right, dropping to the left.
Careless maneuver by RAGNAROK, losing a bunch of Banelings for nothing. And here he's gonna just send a bunch of Zerglings to stop this team medivac from dropping. Yet again, he's not losing anything too important, but he's still definitely losing something. I'm talking about RAGNAROK, of course. Getting to that to the important tech is still like the thing that's gonna matter the most in the long run. But Bunny will be able to go for a stronger attack this time.
Alright, once again, Bunny trying to put on some pressure here on the top side base. But we do see a big, huge Baneling Ling run by counterattack come out of RAGNAROK, hoping it to get some SCV kills while he tries to desperately hold off this attack. But look at that reaction time from Bunny.
Yeah, these SCVs immediately pulled away. Zerglings trying desperately to get something done. Will not manage to do much. Bunny is sending his whole army back home, leaving only the tanks over here on the high ground. That was a risky move, but he knows RAGNAROK cannot afford to lose much more, and is just gonna go and send his army back to where the tanks are. And now he can also start to go for something a little bit more aggressive, it seems like. Then sieging up next to this ridge over here on the right side of the third of RAGNAROK. There are lurkers now, but it's not gonna be easy for RAGNAROK to get on top of this army. Lurkers getting closer to the Marines, but Bunny knows better and just decides to withdraw for the time being and get ready to attack from another side.
Yeah, both players has one of those siege units that forces the players to be very, very careful not to, overextend and go in. If the Marines go into the lurker line, they get obliterated. If the Zerg army goes into the tank line, they get obliterated. But looks like RAGNAROK found some, angle where most of the tanks aren't in range. Does get some nice engagements, but actually had to eventually retreat and evacuate this topside base. Doesn't feel like he has enough.
Yeah, not enough Banelings to actually get on top of everything. That was a little bit of an unfortunate situation for RAGNAROK. Banelings are gonna be very important for these earlier defenses. He needs that gas for Vipers and more lurkers, and he uses that for that. But Vipers are still kind of a long way, and tanks are already sieged up in range of these lurkers. This is not going well for RAGNAROK. More lurkers are popping up right now, but the Vipers are gonna be late to the party, meaning one more base is probably gonna be needed to be sacked from RAGNAROK. His army supply still very high, not as high as Bunny, but Bunny starting to build up a bank, and now RAGNAROK desperately needs those Vipers to start doing some serious business here in this fight. Hydra Den goes down, and that Hydra Den is very, very important.
Yeah, that's going to halt some of the Hydralisk production, but he did quickly make another one, so should have access to it pretty soon. In the meantime, he is using those gas instead of using it for lurkers. He's going to use it for Banelings, but he did lose a lot of economy, lost 2 bases. But oh my god, look at that!
This has to be the most beautiful array of blinding clouds I've ever seen. Ragnarok, with a twist of events, destroys the army of Bani to pieces, and now it's just Bio against Lurkers, and boy, you don't want to take that fight ever. Ragnarok retakes his bases, and he's still one base ahead compared to his opponent. Still has the workers lead, and now the army lead. This Xur player is on another level when it comes to Vipers.
Yeah, now he just needs to catch up on those upgrades. He is a bit behind on the upgrade count. He is a determined player. Got 3 right now versus only the plus I guess 2 range, the 2 melee, and the 2 armor. But we do see Bunny attempting a kind of a drop here into the main base. Gonna have to force Ragnarok to allocate some of his army back into the main base.
There's gonna be a lot of Zerglings coming over here, but of course not gonna be the most efficient trade ever. Bunny still needs to find somewhere to deal damage. He's gonna get an archery. Gonna pay a little bit more than expected for it. And Ragnarok getting places here. Oh man, those blinding clouds, I can still make my mind over it. Those were beautiful. There was not a single tank shooting the whole fight. Lurkers were able to do whatever they wanted, and it was crazy good for Ragnarok.
Yeah, but you gotta keep in mind though, during all that time, Bunny has recessed the creep tumor all the way back. Right now, look at the creep spread. It is really sad to see. But who needs creep spread if you have that many lurkers, right? I mean, right now he is going to go ahead and dive on in here. Does he have enough?
Oh, the blinding clouds once more, just getting in the spots where they hurt the most. Ragnarok getting on top of the production. These lurkers are not gonna go down. The links and the pain links are still standing, still dealing damage, and this base is completely sacked from Bunny. And you know what? It is definitely about the Vipers, guys, because this guy over here just came back from an awful spot with some of the most beautiful blinding clouds I've ever seen in any game of StarCraft. This game from Ragnarok was a treat for sore eyes, and now he's gonna go ahead and siege up here just between the natural and the third. GG gets gold. Ragnarok is gonna go ahead and get into the playoffs as the second place player of this group.